The Kissing Booth 2 has been out for a few days by now, and that actually gave me some time to analyze frame by frame the movie and find a lot of details that not that much people noticed. That's why in this video I'm gonna show you 20 things I found in the movie and probably you didn't notice. One of my favorite scenes was when Elle said a lot of nasty things about Marco, but this was actually Heather's fault. She didn't tell her that she was on air. Maybe a lot of you don't remember, but Heather was the girl who was kissing Noah in the Kissing Booth Part 1, and in that moment, Elle interrupted them, which caused an argument, and eventually Noah dumped Heather because of that. So one of the most logical things in this scene is that Heather had some remorse for Elle. When Elle visits Boston, Noah is waiting for her at the airport while carrying a sign with her name. One of the things that not a lot of people noticed is that as soon as he finds her, Noah throws his signs and he hits one of the extras of the movie. And we're talking about this guy who was wearing his backpack. Maybe you remember that Elle is a football fanatic. Well, in the first movie she used to play in the school team, and in the second movie, this passion for football suddenly disappeared. The only thing that we see related to this is a tiny keyring that I found. This tiny keyring is a football, which we can actually see for a couple seconds. This one was quite hard to spot, but a few people actually pointed it out after watching the movie a couple times. One of the OMG girls was replaced in this movie, specifically the girl with brown hair, who was played by Jessica Sutain. But now in the Kissing Booth 2, she was replaced by the actress Camilla Walson. This girl is slowly but surely getting more recognized in the industry. Talking about the OMG girls, specifically now about Olivia, in the first movie when it was her turn to kiss in the Kissing Booth, she instantly backed out because she didn't want to kiss Melvin, the handsome guy right here. But in the second movie, the same situation happens again, but this time she actually kissed Melvin, and after kissing it, she said that it wasn't bad. Seems like Melvin is actually a good kisser. What the... This one is pretty interesting because not a lot of people remember that Elle doesn't just have one name. Elle is not the only name for the protagonist of this movie. Her first name is Rochelle. In the Kissing Booth 2, this name appears for a few moments. It shows in her college application, where we can clearly see Rochelle Evans. Do you remember that on the first movie, the OMG girls ate bananas super fast and then left? Well, in this movie sequel, we can see them again with the same lunch, a bottle of water and a banana. But the only difference here, they just finished talking and live with their perfect bananas. It looks like this has been the same lunch for them during all of these school years. During their time in Boston, Noah and Elle have a romantic date, which is actually a real restaurant located at the north of Boston. In this movie, a few characters were introduced, including Marco. In the movie, we can see that Marco has tons of talents, including playing the guitar. But actually, the actor, Taylor Perez, have never even touched a guitar before this movie. He actually said that he took guitar lessons for 3 hours a day for this movie. And he also told that filming his scenes where he was playing the guitar was extremely hard for him, given the fact that he had to play in front of tons of extras. At the end of the movie, Elle and Noah solve their problems, and this talk actually happened in the same place where they kissed for the first time. In the park, the same place that we can see in the first movie. The Kissing Booth 2 is the first movie where Joey King showed as an actress and an executive producer, which helped a lot in the making of the movie. Joey King said that this helped a lot because she belongs in the demographic group of the movie, which gave it a very interesting perspective to work on it. Both movies have been filmed in South Africa, but The Kissing Booth 2 was filmed in the coldest months of this area. This caused tons of problems for the movie production, mainly because they couldn't find clothing that gave the illusion of a warm climate. What happened is that in South Africa, they were only selling winter clothing. Because of this, the production had to cut off the sleeves of some outfits. And eventually, they bought most of the clothing in London, where it was still summer. In this movie, we saw some scenes of Lee's house, but the outside scenes of that house shows us that's actually the same house that appeared in Black Mirror, specifically in episode The, where Rachel, Jack and Ashley appeared. That famous episode where Miley Cyrus was there. But the only difference being that in Black Mirror, they filmed a lot of the inside and also the outside. That's why some people were able to recognize this house. Did you know that this house has 4 different pools? What the freak? Why do you need so many pools? Not long ago, Netflix confirmed that the Kissing Booth 3 was on the working, but loads of the fans were actually amazed that the movie was filmed in secret. But the good thing about this is that the movie will not be held back because of the global pandemic. Most probably the Kissing Booth 3 was filmed at the same time that the Kissing Booth 2 was being filmed. The launch date for the Kissing Booth 3 will be in 2021. And also, a big question about this is that if Jacob Elordi will be in this movie? The short answer is yes. All of the Kissing Booth cast is confirmed that will be in the next movie of the Kissing Booth. A lot of people thought that Jacob Elordi wasn't gonna be in this movie's sequels. A pretty interesting thing that was actually hard to spot, but some people noticed it, was that Joey King wore a wig for the entire movie. And this is because she shaved her hair for a role that she has on Netflix, where she plays a girl that believes that she has cancer. But talking about the fact that the Kissing Booth 3 was filmed at the same time as the Kissing Booth 2, the most logical thing is that on the third movie, we will see Elle wearing a wig again. This movie divided the fans. A lot of people were in favor that Elle was coupled with Noah, but the other half of the people wished that Marco was the chosen one. And this last option was so popular that on Twitter, thousands of fans made trending the hashtag Justice for Marco. And even the same actor that plays Marco supported this hashtag. He even said, "We need justice for Marco." Chloe and Noah's friendship is something that we didn't see a lot in the Kissing Booth 2, but there are a few details that gave us a lot of crucial information. For example, when Noah is about to punch Marco. As we know, Noah is a guy with temper issues, and it's impossible to control himself when he gets provoked. But in this scene, we can see how Chloe is able to stop him. That even got Elle impressed, because it was something that she couldn't do in the last movie. This is just a small detail, but it gives us a clear example of Noah and Chloe's friendship. It is actually for good and shows us how she has helped him to grow as a person. At the end of the movie, we got confirmed that Chloe and Noah were never in a relationship. The earrings just got to Noah's bed by accident, but they never explained the messages that he got on his phone. I'm going to read those messages for you so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. "I'm so sore. Lol. Good thing we decided to do that. Same. Worked on the stress. Yep, gonna do it again soon. Absolutely. Now I need a hot bath. Yeah, I'm soaked." That's what she said. Oh, you did not say that. Now, I don't know what to think about these messages, but these messages definitely seem to be taking up a crazy level. Just imagine if you saw those messages in your boyfriend or girlfriend's phone. You'd definitely think about some bad things. I can't actually imagine a good side of this. As I said, they never explained these messages, but there are actually some theories that refer to this conversation where people say that they were just talking about a gym session. So what do you think? Do you think Elle was right in asking for an explanation of this conversation? Or maybe that was a toxic move? Some people think that the relationship between Lee and Mike is forced, and it doesn't add anything to the plot. But actually, not a lot of people know that the existence of this relationship has a subtle function. Let me explain. Since the start of the movie, it was planted that Lee had an attraction for Miles, but he never wanted to admit his feelings, which changed on the beach when Elle told him that he had to risk it. And at the end of the Kissing Booth, he followed her advice. He lost the fear and admitted that he liked Miles. And this story is a reflective romance between Elle and Marco. If you remember, she didn't want to admit that she felt something for Marco, even at the end. But then, Elle looks at Lee and Miles. She sees them together, and thanks to that, she decides to confess her feelings. This means that the gay relationship was there to reinforce the message that you don't have to deny what you feel. Elle knew this, but she forgot about it along the way, and she only could remember it when she saw them at the end. The movie changed a crucial detail in the book, which gave us the secret to know what will happen in the third movie. In the book, Elle and Marco kiss, but then they continue being friends, and that's it. In the movie, they changed this to say that Marco fell in love with Elle. This detail stays to the end when Marco said that she's actually worth it, which actually tells me that this detail combined with the other details are aiming that Marco's gonna be with Elle at the end of this story. What do you think about these details? I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!